YouTube!
Today we're going to be drawing a
Lightsaber!
All right, the first thing that we're gonna do, and all of the craft kids at home are gonna do, is we're gonna draw a light line in pencil, diagonally from one corner to the other, and the other corners as well, 2 diagonals. This is going to be basically the line, the line that we follow to draw our lightsabers. One is going to be diagonally this way, and the other is going to be diagonally this way. They're going to be kind of like they're in a fight, so to speak. All right. The very first thing we are going to do is draw Luke Skywalker's. Okay. Yeah. Now the handle has a ton of detail. We're going to kind of simplify it a little bit because we have to make it a little small to get the entire lightsaber in. Okay. We didn't want to just draw the handles. We wanted to draw the actual
lightsaber,
the light part of the saber. So here we go. First things first. Way down here in the corner, you're going to draw a little curved line. It's going to kind of be like a really flat C. Okay, good. And then you're going to draw a line that goes along the same diagonal as this center line. It's going to be a short little tiny line on each side. Then you're going to have a nice larger curved line that comes across. Good. Then we have to, again, we're simplifying a bit some of the details. So we're going to go up with 2 more lines that are headed straight on that same diagonal path. And they're just really short lines. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Next, we're going to close, or not close it, but bring it across with another curved line. This is to give it a rounded look, a 3-dimensional look. Nice job, Landon. All right, now we're gonna take that handle, it's a cylindrical handle, and we're gonna just bring that up about, I went a little too far. We're gonna go about twice as long as the other little diagonal pieces we've been making. Okay, so about 2 of those, Landon. Good. So, okay, then a lot of these pieces are, you're gonna hear me say curved line a lot. A lot of these pieces are the same because, or at least they have the same look because, again, it's trying to give it that 3-dimensional piece. So we're gonna go another one of these kind of lines. It's not perfect, don't worry, okay? We're not going for perfection, we're going for
fun.
Fun, that's right, fun.
Fun.
Okay? Now we're gonna bring this handle up a ways. This is like where the on-off switch is on his lightsaber. They might not call it an on-off switch, but that's what I'm calling it. Okay, so you're gonna bring one line up about twice as far as the other. The bottom line is gonna go up about twice as far as the other one. Okay, the next step is to put this is where the switch is. So it's gonna be a little rectangle. Just do a little rectangle for me, bud. Good work. Now, right above that, we're gonna just draw a tiny line and then we're gonna curve across just like we've been doing with our little curved lines there. Now, there's going to be a series of rings that go around the lightsaber, but we're gonna simplify it a bit, okay? We're gonna make this a little bit easier. So we're gonna just continue the cylinder all the way up until we reach right about, actually bring this in a little bit, right about here, where we're going to do a curved line the opposite direction now. And then I'll show you how we're gonna make it look like rings in just 1 second. Good job, bud. Okay, now, to make it look like it's rings, we're gonna do this, okay? We're gonna start at the bottom. You can see the curve goes this way. So we're gonna go curve. Okay, we're gonna do that again with the downward curve. So next we're going to do, as we continue to do these, what look like rings around Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, they're gonna start to get, by the middle, they're gonna be straight across, okay? By the time we reach right here, it's gonna be straight across. okay? So it's gonna be one more curved one, but it's a little less slightly curved, and then another less slightly curved one, and then we're gonna start curving it the other way, okay? So we're gonna do the opposite on this side. So the very first one, just do this barely curved. And then we're just gonna continue that pattern, like a little bit more curved. And then a little bit more curved. All right, so the next step on the Luke Skywalker lightsaber is a little, like the handle goes in quite a bit. It's still cylindrical, but it goes in quite a bit. So you're gonna do 2 lines that go along that same diagonal path. Nice, Landon, nice. And then, nice work. Those are very good. The next line is going to be one of those curved lines that we've been doing all along, except for it's going to curve
the other way.
The other way, right? It's going to curve this way. Good. And now we're going to, since this part of the handle is so skinny, we need to show the back side of this little ring that's going around the handle. So show it like that, okay? Nice work. That's really nice, bud.
Thanks.
Okay, then we're gonna go up just a hair. We've been kind of doing these things all along, like down here we did it. Okay, so I want you to do another one of those right there. It's kind of like a little diagonal piece, little diagonal piece. Okay, here we guess what's next. Another curved piece.
It's kind of getting boring using curved pieces.
Yeah. Well, you could say that there's a lot of repetition in his lightsaber handle, right? As far as like the details. But that's okay because when we finish, you're gonna be like, wow, that looks cool. And it actually looks like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So, okay, go ahead and do yours across. Nice. And then we're gonna continue that skinny piece. We're gonna pretend that it goes right through that ring we just made. Okay. Just for a tiny piece, just for a tiny bit. We're almost at the end of his handle. It's just one more ring thing, right like that. So this curved line is not gonna be as wide as the one down below it. It's gonna come in just a little bit. There you go, Lana, good job. Okay, now we're gonna do, so this piece is very similar to what's underneath it. We're gonna scoop that around and scoop that around to show that it's three-dimensional. Okay, and then we're gonna do these pieces that come up again. And then this piece is gonna be curved, but it's gonna go a little outside of that because it's gonna be a little wider. A little wider than that little piece we just made. Good job. Okay, and then, but this one's gonna be really skinny. It's not gonna be quite as thick as these two, okay? It's gonna go just a hair, and then across again. Just do that last little ring. Do me a favor, loop this around the back and loop this around the back. Ready? Now you wanna do this, you wanna do the light part of it? It's gonna go almost all the way to the corner. So you're gonna follow the guidelines of this sketch line. And even if it's not perfectly in the middle, like my sketch line is now off to this side, so I'm just gonna use it for that side. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now we're ready to move over to Darth Vader's sword. Sorry, lightsaber, okay? And Darth Vader's is a little bit different, of course. It's actually a little bit less detailed, in my opinion. So the first thing you want to do, and I'm going to turn my paper because I'm right-handed, so it just makes sense for me to do. And it makes sense for you too because you're right-handed. Down here in the bottom, we're going to be using more of these curved type things that we talked about before. But the first move, almost down in the corner, is to make a curved line. Yep, good. That's a nice job. And then, Darth Vader has a thicker hand. Well, this handle seems thicker at the bottom, and I can show you why in just 1 second. So we're gonna bring this cylinder up about right there. So if you look at in relation to how far I made it up the paper, it's about, if you're using a pencil that has one of these toppers on it, it's about 2 of those toppers big. It doesn't have to be an exact thing, okay? Ready? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw the design that's on the bottom of Luke Skywalker's, not Luke Skywalker's, Darth Vader's lightsaber, okay? So it's gonna look like some lines. They're gonna have one thick line right here, okay? And we're simplifying this design. This is actually a raised up portion of the handle to give him some grip. But we're not going to show that detail on these inner ones. We'll show it on the outer ones. Okay, so there's another thick line right here. Okay, because you're kind of looking down at these pieces. And then on the outside, watch this carefully, okay? On the outside, you're going to be doing a little diagonal at the top and the bottom, and then connecting it with a straight line and filling it in. You want me to show you that, Landon, or did you get it? Good. Now connect them and fill it in. Nice job. On the other side, we're going to do the exact same thing. So again, just like with Luke's, there's lots of little pieces. So they can sometimes become frustrating. So we're going to go diagonal piece and diagonal piece right out of the handle. Okay. Just for a very short period of time, following that diagonal line. Ready? And then he has an interesting, I don't know if you call it a power switch or like a spot that the crystal goes in. It has 2 rectangles. It has one rectangle like this. Okay, so there's that long one, and then next to it you put a shorter one that goes all the way back down to there. Okay, and then in behind that, we're gonna do the curvy thing again. Okay, so there's gonna be a little curve and a little curve, so it almost looks like there's a piece right in behind those 2 little rectangles that we made. Perfect, that's perfect, just how you have it. Okay, then we're going to take the outside of this cylinder and bring that up just above this little rectangle, almost in line with this rectangle, but just slightly above it. Nice job. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that curve down and go from one side to the other. See that? Pretty neat, huh? Cool, now we have the main shaft of Darth Vader's, I don't want to call it the main shaft, but it's like the long part of the handle. Okay, so it goes on for quite a while. Okay, so that part of the handle is going to look like that. It's going to actually go a little higher than I have it. Okay, boom, boom. Then there's this sort of weird piece here that comes straight out to the side. It almost looks like it's going to be a little rectangle, like that. Can you do a little rectangle like that? Or like a little 90-degree angle? Good. And then it comes in just slightly and curves down like that. Yeah, that's good. That's really good, Landon. And then once it's on this side, it's going to do what we've been doing with like pieces that look like that, where it curves across like this.
Like a Mario hole? Like
yeah, kind of like that. Good job. Okay, now, one last piece to the handle for Darth Vader, which is this, where the light part comes out of. It's a tube, but the tube has been cut like in a diagonal way. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. You go up pretty far on one side, and then on the other side you only go up half as far. Okay, and then you connect it with an oval. So you watch how I do this. Okay, watch how I do this. Okay, that's good. That's really good. So Landon went ahead and did it, and it looks a lot like what he did. You just do an oval like this. Okay? And you're not even gonna really be able to see that back part anyways, because we're gonna put the light. But now what we do is that's the end of Darth Vader's, and again, we've simplified it, but Darth Vader's handle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the light part, and we're gonna go all the way up almost into the corner, and we're gonna follow that path of that sketch that we made earlier. I have my lightsabers sketched out, like the beams, whatever you want to call it, the laser beams, whatever, coming out of the lightsabers. And Landon is a little apprehensive about doing his because he doesn't want to be off. So I'm going to help him out here. And I'm trying to teach Landon not to be apprehensive because look at mine. Mine's like wavy all over the place. And I didn't do a great job with this one either. So mistakes are all part of the game, right? We can't worry about mistakes too much. We, as drawers, to get better, you have to make mistakes, right? It's very, 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 very easy when trying to draw a straight line. It's very easy to get thrown off that straight line. Okay? There's always going to be room for improvement. Okay? If we wanted it to be perfectly straight, without any hitches, we would use a ruler, but that's not really, this isn't ruler drawing. We're just having some fun. So Landon and I both now have our lightsabers drawn.
Sorry.
You're such a goof, man. I don't know if that was caught on camera, but go ahead. Go ahead. Make sure it's in the camera so everybody can see your foot with your pencil in it. Landon's going to be drawing some feet art next week. Just kidding. So Landon is not going to do any outlining of his pencil lines. He likes how they look, and he wants to show what it would look like if you just left it as a pencil drawing, pencil and colored pencil. We're going to represent these in two different ways. And what I mean by that is, during the very first movie, the original, all right, so episode 4, Darth Vader's was red, Luke Skywalker's was blue, and that's how they depicted it. Later on in the sequels, they decided that Luke Skywalker's blue lightsaber it didn't contrast the sky as much as they wanted it to, so they changed it to green. So Landon's actually gonna do the blue and red on his, and I'm gonna do the green and red on mine. You ready to get going, big guy?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Landon is on the part where he wants to color this handle. And so what I was gonna do is to simplify this, because if you were ever to look at a detailed picture of what this looks like, there's a pattern of silver, black, silver, black, silver, black, silver, black, and the silver rings are out wider than the black portions that you see. So really it is quite complex. So what I was gonna do is just on top of every one of these rings, I was just gonna shade it in. And do you mind if I shade it in?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can go over this in black, okay? So then, actually what I was to make it even simpler, just do every other one. Just shade in every other one. Can you do that, Landon? Yeah. Shade in every other one. And if it seems like it's too close, just add one. And then just shade it in.
Okay.
Looking at the drawing as a whole and how it's come out so far and the level of detail that I didn't think we were gonna get to, but it's got a pretty good amount of detail. I think if I go over this with a Sharpie, it's gonna bleed at some point and it's going to ruin part of the drawing that I would otherwise not want to have ruined. So I think what I'm gonna do is outline a bit, just using a really sharp colored pencil. All right, one last touch, and I'm really glad that I outlined it in only colored pencil because I think it came out a lot better than it would have if I had risked the Sharpie. So one thing I want to do is I want to use a super dark green to go around the outside of this lightsaber. So I think we can do a cool effect if I can keep these lines relatively straight. I would need to use like a maroonish. So the effect I want to do is I want to just make it look like it's glowing. So by outlining it with a hard line, I may need to go a little darker on this with some black, but outlining it with a hard line and then doing a little bit like of a fuzzy wash over the outside might have a really cool, really cool effect. One more thing I'm going to try is I'm going to try to lighten a line along the top of each laser beam just to give it some good like reflection, looking like a reflection of light. All right, Lynn, we like how they came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit it there. Boom, nice job. All right. Do it here, Odin. And then ready on 3, Landon. 1, 2, 3. Lightsabers. Cool, swords off. Swords off. All right, we had so much fun doing these. This is what they came out as. And we had so many memories from our trip, so much fun, so much inspiration. We hoped you enjoyed drawing along with us. If you did, you could
hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.
And you know where to find us. Craft Kids TV on YouTube. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye. Action poses. Whoa! All right. Nice.